Good evening, one and all. Welcome again to the marvelous life and times of faith for the other men. I got to say it one more time. The marvelous life and times of faith for the other men. It's a beautiful day. Don't worry about what day it is. Just know it's a beautiful day because I'm here, you're here. God gave us life, God gave us blessings, and we are still here. And we have a returning guest. He was here not too long ago. And again, I reached out to him and said, yo, I don't feel like you told your whole story. And we need to learn a little bit more about you. And returning, we have Matthew. What's going on, Matthew?
I'm here. I'm good. I'm good.
Talking to the mic, Matthew.
I'm good.
I don't know why Matthew avoiding the mic. You quip or something? I know the mic red and you don't. What going on? We good?
Hey, man, you know what Jamaican life is, you know.
So you're telling the world where you're from now?
Yes, I'm from Jamaica, man.
Matthew, okay, that's good. So
when you think about Matthew, man, he's the famous 12th disciple. So just think about that.
Matthew, don't know if I'm Muslim right now, so I'm not sure where you're going with this particular conversation, but I guess God gave us life and it's another day. So yeah, give thanks, give praise. So one of the issues that we recently were discussing before we came on air was how we did courting in the Caribbean. You know, because when you came to America, these people do a lot of things called dates. Well, back home, like there was dates, but it kind of wasn't dates, and then you would never really know when you're in a relationship because you never answer the girls them. You never tell them like, yeah, I'm there with you, are you there with me? It was always like, okay, we're there together. So what's interesting is the transition from how we did it home and how we did it when we were younger to how they do it in America and also how we do it when we're older. You know, so for somebody like you who been on both sides of the wall, meaning like start life and marvelous life of being faithful. So I want to understand the concept of like, what are your thoughts on growing up in the Caribbean and I guess we say courting, dating?
Well, to be honest, growing up in the Caribbean, we didn't date that much. We didn't really hold hands and like be all lovey-dovey with each other. We mostly like text, laugh with one another. Like we go to a party, then we talk. But living in America now, you start holding hands,
Right.
like pulling out chairs, opening doors.
I don't know why you wasn't opening doors in the Caribbean. Y'all don't have doors in Jamaica? I'm just trying to figure out this right now.
Where you gonna take it to open the door?
You ain't no one there.
Exactly.
you ain't no one there. So
It wasn't nothing much to do in Jamaica and the Caribbean, man.
listen, I remember growing up in St. Kitts Nevis, and it used to always be you really care about somebody when you send them a text because at that point, I think text messages was 40 cents EC, and you send somebody a message and they ain't answer you, ready to fight, you ready to fight.
And I would say MSN Messenger. That when you first get your girlfriend or boyfriend, you
Right,
first go
right,
home
right. I
to
remember
the
the MSN days. Yes,
Messenger,
yes,
or
yes.
you go on Facebook and tag someone.
Facebook wasn't a thing back then. Facebook
think
was a
so?
thing. I don't recall. I remember High Five.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
It's
I remember
It's
High Five.
I stand corrected.
I remember something else was there between High Five and that, but you know what? I don't want to give her my age. Just know that I'm very young. Okay, I just had computers a lot quicker than a lot of people. But you said nobody was holding hands, nobody was opening doors. I still can't understand why you guys weren't opening doors in Jamaica, but
Man, that was the American lifestyle shit.
you think so?
Exactly, man. When I first come up here, man, I went to college, man. I see these guys waiting for their girlfriend after class, holding their bags, opening doors,
Nice,
going
nice.
them to lunch. I'm just like, what the shit is this? Like,
I think you would have said with the blood clot this, but
It's
hey,
like- walk this holding hands all the damn time and like kissing one another every minute. Like, how many times you kiss them, man? How many times like you want to see you in one damn day?
I guess they were over. I think it's head over heels or heels over head in
I
love.
don't know what the hell you call it, man, but I was just so sick of it.
So you were shocked by how they did the dating thing up
Yes,
here.
man. Every minute you like you go to class, you kiss them. She come out of class, you there waiting for her. You kiss her. You holding her hands. It's like, come on.
So that makes me wonder. Do you think the American ladies and such, they all have they seem to run and just love the island men. You think it's because of that extra roughness
Boy.
that we have attached why we just come in and swipe up these girls here, girl?
Because we treat them like shit. You know.
I cannot agree to that. I am not a part of that, and
no,
I don't know where you're going with this.
You have to see it like this, man. When you first came up here, like some girl just like bad treatment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you're accustomed to a guy who's like, you say jump, they jump. You get bored of that. But when you come to another guy, he like don't hold your hands. Like when you custom to your boyfriend to hold your hands, or like don't show you talk a different way, have a different twang or accent.
Okay, so better saying it. Are you saying that in regards to the island men and the American men, are you saying that it's because the island guys give love in a different way that makes the ladies them more attractive?
Yes.
Because initially, that because I don't open the door doesn't mean I don't care about you. It just means that you better catch this door while my hand is still on it.
But that's the thing. We might be more hands-on and be more affectionate in public, but the things that we say and we do, our action matches our words.
Right.
You wouldn't be all holding hands and like kissy
I don't-
kissy. But we will whisper in your ear, tell you some sweet text. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. So it's the same thing we just said. So we give off the love and the affection in a different way because initially, we're not too kiss up, in public and that kind of thing there because, you don't want information. He said, but before your son go to school, him down there, kiss up and girl on the bench. And everybody from the Caribbean know what I just talk about. Before you reach home, your parents gonna ask you. So me send you to school, you down there just to make love and and that's how the thing go. But I did notice that, and as you say it, I reflect back and I recall, I wasn't really too much into the holding hands, but me grab her up and, whisper she like, sexiness and, she blush up herself and them things, this and then okay, that's us. Well, that's how we do it. Well, these guys up here now, they pull the girl in, they give them a twirl, and then they pull them in some more, put the hand around the waist, and they kiss them on the cheek, and then they twirl them out, and then they skip on to class. And we watch that and we say, yeah, we're going to take where this boy and girl. You get where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? But I guess they had their way of doing things. We had our way of doing things. And the little roughness that we add to it, I guess, was the element that drives so much of the ladies to the Caribbean guys.
I think there's a culture difference, man. Growing up in the Caribbean, man, people wasn't doing that, and everyone talks.
Right.
So you wasn't that affectionate in public, but now you come into America and you realize this is accepted, and this
Right.
is everybody's doing it. Then you just become a part of it,
Yeah, I definitely grasp where you're coming from, because again, back home, you can't just be kissing up on somebody's daughter, you can't be holding up on somebody's daughter. Before you look, the father jump out of some bushes with a machete and 10 of your uncles running out the hills, and you got a different kind of problem. Well, up here, it's just like, nobody cared, and that's it, you know what I mean?
So tell me how you court your wife or your girlfriend now.
I mean, right now at this particular point, what I do is I mix up the island style and a little bit of the American style, which is still our style because we created America as a black man. But I mix up both styles, and that's how I pretty much keep the relationship active and interactive and keep her in the mix. So from time to time, we will go on what the guys then call a date. And then, of course, we interact with a little bit of the walking and so on and, that type of stuff. It has to be a cold night. That's my thing. I always like to
What is that? What type of stuff? You know what I mean? Like, break it down for me.
So, let's do a little flashback real quick. So if we say Friday night is date night, right? You don't do the date on Friday night. And furthermore, you shouldn't even give her too much of a heads up. You post a message on maybe about midday, even though you know well beforehand you're going on a date. You message her midday, say, hey, when you go home, shower up, ready yourself, we out. You know what I mean? She ain't need to know where we're going. If she asks what to wear, say, just look good. That's what you always do anyway. You understand? You pick your place where you're going to go, right? Now, wherever you go, you never park close to where you're going. That's one of the other tricks you do. You never park close to where you're going. Park a block away, 2 blocks away, whichever you need to be. Because that walk to the spot is what's going to create the date night. So you have to drive to where you're going and the walk to where you're going. Because she don't need to know where you go.
So you're building the mood right now.
You're building the mood where you're right now. Now, if you have more tricks up your sleeve, what you should do is definitely purchase maybe the 1 flower or 2 flower. Me personally, I always believe in 1 flower. Because flowers dead. Me not try to give too much flowers because then the flowers dead and you say, oh, the relationship is going dead too. We ain't doing all of that. And with that flower, you hide that someplace, whether it is in the house or in the car. But that's for when the night is over. Anyway, moving forward. So, fellas, what you do, when you take her out, you have to open the doors for the car. All right? Don't let her open the doors yourself. Even if you can pick her up, open the door.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, 'cause it's a date night, so you got to be special tonight. Now, you don't do this every day because they get accustomed to it, and then they don't appreciate you for these things. You understand? They don't appreciate you. So you make sure you open up the door. Don't play the boom, boom, boom music. Not tonight. You play some reggae, even R&B, or some slow. Remember, you're setting the night. You go wherever you're going, whether it be a food spot, whether it be an entertainment spot or whatever.
So question. So Yes, on date night, do you plan or you make it spontaneous?
So for we plan. We have to plan it because we need to make sure everything either going according to plan or very close to it
Exactly.
as possible. So you should always beforehand know where you're going and what you're going to do. She doesn't necessarily need to have to know that. She just needs to have a clear schedule and an open mind, and that's what makes everything unique.
So let me jump in here, and that's a good thing to do because sometimes girls feel like you just going off the bat, you just take them any random place. But when you plan it, they say you put time into it, and that's just something that counts.
For whatever reason, they seem to like when you put time into it and when you do all of this, and it's like in all honesty, a plan is set, but it shouldn't be set in stone. It should just be the guide to where you're trying to go. Because sometimes things go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah, that's how the story goes. But anyway, so moving forward, whether it be to an event or food, what I normally try to incorporate is food and an event. You never want to just do one thing, because that kills the whole purpose. So that might make it a tad bit more expensive, but at the same time, I add a little bit more boom, boom, boom. Instead of you feel like, oh, we went out, eat and come back home, or we just went to the club and come back home, that type of stuff. And also, if it's date night, fellas, don't take them to the club. Come on, that's corny. You understand where I'm coming from? You're either going to do a lounge or something like that, but just don't go to the club. Now, you take them to the place, do the food thing, make sure you open the chair. You pull out the chair, you open every door, never order first. Always let them order first. You understand where I'm coming from? Always ask them if they want dessert. When you finish, you bounce out of there. Now remember, you park far from the place. So that point, when you're leaving to the car, you have to have a conversation ready for that. You can make it about the restaurant, or you could just be like, you know what, you think the night is over? Hear what she got to say. At that point, you tell her, no, we're moving on to other things. Now, whatever the second thing is, it has to either incorporate a little bit of the first, meaning like you don't go from a fancy restaurant to the club. That doesn't make sense, especially a soca party. It doesn't make sense. You need to be on the same level or just slightly different because she needs to have a mind ready for that also. So if you're leaving from the restaurant and let's go say you want to go see Lion King, I'm just saying though. I'm just saying though, you go in that adventure. You know what I mean?
You can tell it's Nevis man talking about Lion King.
Listen. Lion King is a big thing from Disney, but yeah, that's the example that I give. So that would be considered a date night, and then it's also the little things that you do incorporate into that. And one of the things I always tell these fellas is when date night done, and the next morning come, whether you live with her or don't live with her, that night you message her and say, hey, I had a wonderful time, blah, 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 whatever it is. Spit that fire. Then when the morning come, if you got to go to work or if you're stepping out, once you leave the house, message her, still thinking about the marvelous time I had last night with you. These things add up. You know where I'm coming from?
Exactly.
These things add up. Now, imagine when you are savage for the thought life. When you convert that over to the faithful life, that's a different element of savage. Ain't nobody taking your chick when you follow what you're supposed to do.
Exactly, because after date night, the next 2 days, she be thinking about it.
She going to be thinking about it. She going to be telling her friends. She going to be telling her family. The family going to be like, okay, yeah, this is the guy. The friends going to be like, I need to take her man. But that's good because you want the friends them to want to take the man because that adds value to you. Now, don't get caught, but you want to try to take you. You understand where I'm coming from? And then they're going to like that at the same time. So it's for you to always stay unique. And the number one thing you always got to remember is you need to do something that is different than anything she may have experienced or she could experience. Because one of the sins them, and I'm going to tell you this now, one of the sins them I always ensure to do, it's any relationship that I'm courting, I try to leave them with a memory so that they know whether me and this person stay together or we break up, that memory will always be embedded in them. And it's selfish, but it's true.
I agree with you. I always want my girlfriend, any of my girl or my lady to feel like I'm the best man they ever had.
Ever had. And then that way when they move on to different relationship in case things don't work out, or if we together and we're going through a little rough patch, I can always remember those good times because it was so significant.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it was random, it was sporadic, but you did the courting, you did the conversation, you came and you dedicated the whole night to them. And another thing I'm going to tell you, fellas, when you're doing your date night, please,
listen.
Please, you have to listen to everything she said and put down your phone. Just put down, focus,
No.
focus on her right
Let's
now.
not say put down your phone. Turn off your phone.
No, you can't turn off your phone because then you look guilty of doing something else.
But that's the thing. You want to give her your undivided attention.
But woman nowadays, if you turn off your phone, who you hiding from?
But that's the thing. Before the night start, you say, "Hey, turn off your phone."
But
I turn
Macho,
off
you
my
have
phone.
kids. Suppose your kids them calling you. You understand where I'm coming from? We're in an era right now
get what you're
where we
saying,
can legitimately turn off your phone. But what I'm saying is like make sure to provide undivided attention to that particular lady that night.
Look into their eyes when you're talking. You know, what I mean, not looking at the waitress. Looking to the side.
That's what I say. Fellas, no matter how bad that waitress is, focus on your girl. Now, if the waitress happen to walk behind your girl while you're watching her, you know, you get away with that. But if you're going to turn your head in the direction that the waitress is going, all you're asking for is either a backhand slap or a front hand slap, and either way you're getting a slap. That ain't good for you that time. If you had to venture to a date, if you had to talk about a date, if you had to recommend a date and how these guys could have a date which could be fun, fulfilling, and help them to keep their woman, what would you suggest, Matthew? Coming from Jamaica in America, like, what's your strategy?
Okay, for me personally, man, I would start off by taking her for ice cream, just to get, like, have a conversation.
I thought you was keeping it economical when you said ice cream, so I was just checking just now.
No, you gotta build a conversation. Like after that, we go to activity, like beat the bomb, something to engage both of us. Like we have to talk and like figure out stuff together, like a couple thing.
Right.
Like most of these guys, when you think about dating, want to go to the movies, but when you go to the movies, you guys are not interacting.
True.
You know?
True.
So then you go to something like Meet the Bomb, or you could even go like mini golf. That way you guys are interacting, you guys are laughing, you guys are talking. The whole part about being on a date is to get your person you're with to have fun and loosen up
Correct.
and laugh.
Correct.
Once they're laughing, that's all you need. And after activity, I might go get pizza or something. Then I might go back home. I might take her back home. I'll make her like a 5-star dish, like cooked together. But even to that,
Macho, how you get them in the house on the first night? This is somebody you're in a full
no,
relationship
that's somebody
already.
you're already talking to and cooking.
Okay.
Or even to that, you can go to a cooking class. You know what I mean? Like you make the dish together, and you eat the food together. Like
Right. So once you mentioned that part there, now with the cooking class, now this is something where you know and I know that it's hard to get a West Indian to get into those type of things, you know, because the other thing is like when we go to this cooking class, let's say they're teaching us how to bake and you're like, well, hold on, this guy ain't putting enough butter. What's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Or they go to one of the classes where they're teaching us how to make meat and you, not meat, let's say masala chicken. And you're looking and you're like, well, where the onion, where the pepper, something, hold on, where the thyme, you know what I mean? Because different cultures do things differently. And also most West Indian folks, unfortunately, when it comes to certain elements, we're not open at all. You know what I mean? This is how we make it. This is how we cook it. You know what I mean?
but this is when you start teaching them. Taking them on this, but no, you can actually put the idea in their head without even coming out and saying it. Hey, say like, hey, like putting some seasoning. You see, you seasoning that way.
So you're going to the cooking class to teach the cooker how to cook the food.
No. You're teaching your girl. You know what I mean? You guys
Your
doing it
girl, okay,
together.
okay.
And you like, no, actually, like if you want to add any extra stuff or what do you like, and that way you ask her how she like her chicken. You know what I mean? That way you can see like chicken with flavor and stuff like that.
Well, once she do the island, man, all she getting is chicken with flavor, you know? Yeah, that's how we do it over here. The marvelous life and times of faithful island men. That's how we do it over here. All we know is flavor and quality.
But then I'll say for the date night, man, you take her back. You walk her back to her house. You walk her to her door, kiss her on her forehead, and say good night, and you leave. And you just get home safe.
And if she asks you for more,
No, you don't give her because the thing is, right?
you got to be careful because you don't give her and she call Joe Grind.
No, bro.
Some of the women you try for them.
Sometimes you have to give the mystery, like leave them wanting more. That's why I should kiss on her forehead,
Right.
Kiss her on her lip,
Right.
Because she wouldn't be expecting that. You see where I'm
They
coming
definitely
from?
wouldn't be expecting that.
So
And
she go home and think about like, how come you didn't kiss me?
Right.
But then you just go home and text her like, good things come to who wait. You know what I mean?
do things goes to those who wait. Match out here living like a savage. Got these girls home, going home crying, wondering if something is wrong with them, but also feeling mysterious, cause figuring out like, yo, this guy come through and just literally swept them off their feet.
And you want the romance, man. Sometimes you guys be trying to get your tongue down the ladies' mouth too quick.
Correct.
Sometimes you have to wine and dine them and like get to know them personally.
Take this from a farmer savage
You
how
don't-
to do the courting thing.
You don't want to skip step 2, 3, and 4 and jump to step 5. Then when you get to step 5, you guys in a full blown relationship and you
Right.
realize she was like
You
this.
gotta stretch before you work out. You have to warm up before you work out. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And well, I hope people out there learn something about courting. And if you feel that you need a little bit more information, you can always hit us up on Instagram, official films on Instagram. And we'll gladly provide information, inspiration for various dates, little tips here and there, what we've done, what we could recommend to you, whether you be in the Caribbean or whether you're in America. Because again, just going out to get something to eat and then go back to your yard, that's played out. Just going to the club and then go back to your yard, that's played out. You have to advance to a different level.
And one of these things with these young guys be saying that don't have money. You don't need to have money to have a good day.
True, that's very true. Because you did mention ice cream and pizza. That's a horrible combination, but ice cream and pizza.
But that's the thing. When it's late in the night and you're having these conversations, you want a munchie, you want to get something quick.
Right.
You just go get pizza. You know,
Well, I used to go downtown and get falafel.
that's a good thing too.
Yeah. Well, that's for people who like falafel.
But that way, you're not waiting and having these awkward moments.
Right.
You're still talking and actually doing stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people want to go and sit to a restaurant and wait like 30 minutes for the food to come and don't have nothing. Like, dead spots.
Right.
I don't want to have any dead spots. I want to go on a date and I'm just flowing all the way to
Well,
the end.
on date nights, what I like to do is I like to limit the conversation for that day as much as possible without being disrespectful. So you gotta be a little slick with it. That way, once the night starts, they could also begin their journey. Also begin their story of telling me about their day and make it fully interactive. The whole point of the date night is to bring back that little flair, that fire,
Exactly.
the mangeko into the relationship. So you have to do what you have to do.
And you don't want to be boring these days. You want to be like,
Everything needs to be go. Everything needs to be go. And create a special night, you know what I mean? And if it ends with a boom, bam, bam, it does. If it does not, it does not. It just depends on where you're trying to take it that night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But just the club thing, that dead and gone. Anybody can do that. You got to step it up. Have you ever been to NASCAR? No, on a date? That's just a little bit too out there.
Like,
Baseball, basketball.
I did NASCAR and basketball a couple of times, but it wasn't
How
really
long is the
serious.
NASCAR? That's like 4 hours, right?
It's like 4 hours.
The fact that she went with you is love already. So
that chick loved me for that.
the basketball is a little bit more visual. They kind of got an idea what's going on. NASCAR, they're like, okay, he just turned left.
The
And then he
basketball
turned
is
left
kind of
again.
fun though because you guys be shouting all kind of stuff
I ain't shouting nothing at
and
the
you're
thing.
screaming for your team and stuff. And like if your team win or your team come back, it's like very exciting. But NASCAR, man, I'm gonna have to love you to take it to NASCAR. Bro.
Right. So definitely outside of the loop, any sporting event, does it make a difference where they sit, or once you get in the building, that's all that
It
matters?
doesn't matter. Once you're in the building, you're just trying to be lively and feed off the crowd. And guys, you know what's a good thing to take a girl on a date? Bull riding.
Boat riding,
Bull riding.
bull riding.
Yeah.
So is this the
mechanical
one where
bull.
the mechanic? I'm literally thinking the one where you go watch the guy ride the boat. I'm like, that's kind of from a date to Mortal Kombat.
No, the mechanical bull, that's an extremely good time.
Uh-huh.
You can watch her fall, you can pick her up, she can make an ass of herself, you know what I mean? Like, it just create memories. And when you're building a relationship, it's memories that you want, something that you laugh
we talked
after.
about that the last time we had a podcast. We create a memory that lasts forever.
And that's what he's talking about. Don't be going to the club. You can't make memories in the club. All you be buying bottles and stuff like that.
I don't know who's buying bottles in the
shaking and
club.
shaking your
That's not
ass.
economical.
But when you go like Six Flags, go like Dave and Buster, and you playing
So
basketball.
the trick with the Six Flags, I would say, if you go to Six Flags, get the Flash Pass.
yeah,
She ain't gonna be used to that. Just get the Flash Pass,
that's-
save that extra $100, get the Flash Pass. And then she gonna be sick to the stomach after the fifth ride. Like, yo, B, nah, we good.
I can't go Six Flags, man. Caribbean guys don't meant to be that high up in the sky.
You only up there for a couple seconds.
Nah, man. I'm not trying to die.
Ah.
I'm good underground, man.
You only live once. Don't worry about that. But the Dave and Buster's, and then the other thing is like you can't do it back to back to back to back. You gotta do it one here, one over there, another one over there. You mentioned the golf. You said the golf, like the mini golf or the top golf?
The mini golf, top golf.
I've never done the top golf. I've done the mini golf.
The top golf is good.
With
You know what I mean?
behind in the mini golf. Never did the top golf.
You just gotta make it fun, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what you go like and what you girls don't like to do.
So sometimes, even though they don't like to do it, it's best to take them to do it and take them outside of their comfort zone also.
Exactly, exactly. I like that one.
You know what I mean?
'Cause you never know what's as fun till I actually
Right.
give it a try.
True.
And
True.
when you
True.
give it a try, it's like, damn, it's actually fun.
Like I think of case in point, archery. I never for one moment even thought about archery, and then when I did, it was like, "Yo, this is lit right here." My hand hurt, but this is lit. And then I saw the other one, which is axe throwing. I don't know if I could do the axe throwing. 'Cause my biggest fear is like you hit it bad, and then the axe flies back at you, and then you got to go explain to the doctor like, "Hey, you was having a good time, and then things went left." You know.
You ever did an escape room?
I did an escape room years ago. My biggest regret was that I wish it was more of my friends there, so it would have been more, unison. You know what I mean? That's my biggest regret. But the escape room is different. There's too much of them right now. You feel like they're overwhelmed.
And guys, if you have good friends, you guys can have like couple dates, like go play Uno.
Didn't Kevin Hart warn you guys about couple dates? Because now you're in a competition with that other person.
Hey man, Uno break up relationships, man. That's all.
I
I'm
never
gonna
had
say.
that type of problem in my life.
But you see that couple dates is an interaction between everyone. So we laughing and we chilling and stuff like that, creating a crazy vibes. But hey, he's right too, man. When you go out with your boyfriend and you have a couple dates and the other guy is doing too much and you're over here relaxing.
They got to box them down until the water up on the end and leave the party.
But hey, man, I'm just saying, man, just do something that your girlfriend will love.
Man, I try to understand everything that you're saying. And again, just like we said before, it's not about what they love. It's something that's outside of their comfort zone, something that they never did before. And provide, you give them something new. You know what I mean? It's like if your girl is accustomed to eat the curry chicken for years, you bring her some sawfish and she can be like, "Whew, what is this?" You know what I mean? And you provide something new. I would definitely also toss in, we in America, monster truck if that's possible. The rowing on the boats, like the river thing.
Oh my gosh, man, rock climbing and stuff like that.
I don't know what girl you get. Listen, if you got yourself a nice West Indian girl, what we call a thickers, big food, she not gonna be climbing no rocks, and she got her nails done. She not gonna be climbing no rocks.
That's what they say.
What you could just do is, especially if you know it's a lady that got the nails done, you get hiking, not the aggressive hiking, just hike a trail.
Man, I think rock climbing is just good, man. They start climbing up, they're all scared. And
It's
they
all
wanna
good until
do
you
it.
fall.
And you laugh, and you pick her up.
Nobody's laughing with some. Okay, so when you say rock climbing, do you mean rock climbing with the actual rocks? Or do you mean rock climbing in the controlled environment?
In control environment.
Oh well, I'm thinking about outside.
Indoor rock
Yeah,
climbing
I was thinking
talking
about the other one. That's why I'm like, yo, you trying to kill your first date, bro? You can't be doing that.
Man, you gotta do things different, man.
Right,
You want
right.
to be a different individual for when the girls met you. It's like, oh, he spent time, he planned out our dates. You know what I mean? When we go to eat, we just don't go to the same restaurant. We go try Asian, we go try Chinese, we go
Right,
try
right.
different food.
Right.
And you guys can go to
You have to diversify your portfolio.
you can go to 3 different restaurants in one night. But you don't have to have big portions. You can go and try different stuff. Like, hey,
The appetizers are the samplers.
whatever she likes. If she likes cheesecake, you can go and try different cheesecake spots and see which one she likes best.
Sounds like fun.
I make conversation with it.
Well, you know what? You might as well just add this to it. Fellas, if you're going to do that date night, because me, I don't like driving home after night gets too crazy. Rent a room, bro. Just rent a room. Just make it a night. Say, hey, bring some overnight clothes. We going to party and then da-da-da-da-da. Get breakfast and then head home. So by the time you head home the next day, it's 12 o'clock and you're just chilling.
And that's a good thing. She just said, get breakfast. Like, get up in the morning, go have a good brunch. You know?
And brunch is a movie, man. Every time I did a brunch, I was like, yo, them bottomless, I'm not into the bottomless mimosas. Like, that's whack. The bottomless rum punch, yeah, I got wasted at a couple brunches. Like, I don't think brunches is a word, yes. But I got wasted at a couple brunches, and that was a movie. You know what I mean? And especially if the spot got good food, that's all you need right there. Good environment, that's all you need
Good
right there.
food, good music, good vibes. That's all you need.
That's all you need right there. All right, so you got more to say on this one? What's up?
Man, I can talk for this some days, man. Like, well, you want to continue? You want to call it the end?
We're going to call it the end, though. I got to go to church. Matthew, thanks for coming back and also helping these individuals learn about how to create a proper date night and encourage them to create a date night. Again, Matthew's a file. I ain't going to say it again, Matthew. I ain't going to say it again. But want to thank you for coming back and sharing your story, sharing your vision, and also giving advice to the younger generation and the older generation who hasn't decided to converge over to to being a faithful other man, but they now have some information how to be a faithful other man because we just taught them how to date.
Hey guys, man, I just want to say appreciate your special woman in your life.
There we go. Because if you don't appreciate the special woman in your life, there's savages that haven't joined the faithful other man, or they might be savages that want to join, but they want to join with your woman. You got to hold on to your queen.
Guys with beards, man. Shit.
Watch out for your queens. Watch your queens. Protect the queen. This is enough things. Again, you listen to The Marvelous Life and Times of Faithful Other Men. Again, The Marvelous Life and Times of Faithful Other Men. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us back again. I don't know who the guest will be or if we have a guest or whatever. But all we're saying is, be marvelous, be faithful, be true, and don't get Will Smith.